She knows you want porn star sex. She knows this, okay? You're not getting it because she does not want to fuck you. All right. This is for guys that are in like right now, they're sort of in the dead bedroom situation, right? You can't go from 0 to 100 here. You can't. So you got to move in increments. Okay. So 1, no sex. 2, intermittent sex. 3, regular sex. 4, things you thought were off the table. Okay. It's one of the things I tell guys that are working with me. Okay. It's progress over perfection. Okay. So like if you're starting off at a place where your wife won't even fucking talk to you, like we need to re-engage her again. Like we need to get her to a place where she enjoys being around you and wants to talk to you again. Okay. Like forget about sex. Like let's get her talking to you again. Right. Like we got to work up to this kind of thing, you know? So you can't go from a place where she doesn't want to fuck you to porn star sex immediately. It won't work. Okay. Um, so you can't skip a step, right? Telling her you want X or trying X ever after having not fucked her for a month isn't going to happen. Okay. If you fucked every day for a week and you're already 10 minutes into action, then it's a different story, right? Be honest about what step you're at. Okay. And there's you just have to understand like it's a process. Okay. It didn't get to a dead bedroom overnight, right? For most guys, it didn't get to a dead bedroom overnight. It was like attraction eroded slowly over time. It's kind of like a diet. You didn't get fat overnight. Okay. You've got to work back up and to fixing this sort of thing. The next concept here is lifting. You just have to make it routine and unskippable. That 99% of the battle. Okay. Do compound lifts and all the rests, sets, reps, pyramid, isolation. Um, let's see, is advanced shit that 99% of men will never get to the point where it matters. Yeah. One thing that I like, if you guys ever take my basic diet and fitness mini course, and that's really designed for guys that have really never worked out, right? If you know how to work out, you don't need to take that course. That's why I don't charge a lot for that course. But one of the things that I have you do before we even get into the exercises is make a promise to yourself that this is something that you're going to do, right? Without fail, right? So every Monday through Friday, I work out no matter what. If I'm traveling, I work out no matter what. Now, if I'm traveling, I will give myself some leeway if there's like some time constraints. I will at least set aside an hour so I can go for a run, So I'm like I'm at least doing something on my break, but I'm doing it no matter what, whether I feel like it or not. The only time that I will not do that is if I'm like on my deathbed because I'm so sick, right? But even then, if I could get up and I feel like I could at least go for a walk, I try to go for at least a run, right? And even then, I might run slower than normal and walk when I have to, but I'm at least going to do something, even when I'm sick. So really, the only time that I might not get a workout in is on a travel day. So like next week, for instance, Nurse Chick and I are flying out to Florida. Well, those types of days usually last all fucking day. It's like a whole long travel day. On those days, I'm not able to get a workout in because there's just not enough time. So then I've made it a promise that, okay, if I can't do it on this day, I'm going to make it up on the weekend. So if I can't do it on Friday, I'm going to make it up on Saturday kind of thing. Right. So I think, like what he says here, make it a routine and unskippable. Like make a promise to yourself that you're going to do this because it's about discipline over motivation. There's going to be days when you're not motivated to work out. Fucking work out anyway. Okay. The next one he has here is looking decent / good. 80% of it is getting lean. 20% of it is muscle mass. If you're skinny fat, you've got to cut the fat first. Getting to 15 to 18% body fat will take hunger. Will take hunger pains. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Yeah, and that's one of the big things that we work out or we do as a part of the map, right? As a part of the process of becoming attractive again and getting our wives wanting to fuck us again is working on our physical fitness because if you're physically fit, like and your clothes fit well, like everything looks good on you. You know what I mean? So being in shape is the best form of peacocking. I think Rolo says that. Don't consult with your wife on work troubles, right? She doesn't want to hear why it's not your fault that the client fired you or someone else got a promotion. How's everything? Great. Awesome quarter. Right? Um, Archwinger, the legendary Archwinger, right? A lot of Ryan Stone's work comes from Archwinger. He's a good dude. I've had him on the podcast before. He's been on Rule Zero. He was on the end of the year show on Rule Zero. Um, I'm in RAR squad with him. He's a good dude. He and I chat sometimes on Twitter. He says the answer to hey, how's work is fine. Everything's fine. Right? So your wife, everything's fine. Like you don't really want to lay your burdens on your wife, right? That's what the boys are for. That's what like beer clubs for. It's what having a good social circle of guys is for. Okay. It's what having a coach is for. It's what having a therapist is for. Okay. Women don't care about your struggles. They wait at the finish line. Fuck the winner. Shout out to Rich Cooper. I'll tell you this though, if you do happen to talk about your struggles and stuff with your wife or your girlfriend, at least put a positive spin on it. That's what I'll say about that. PSA, if your business suffers, she will start looking to replace you ASAP. What I will say about that is I have a working hypothesis is that women don't necessarily leave because like you got fired or your business is struggling or whatever. They leave because you give up on yourself, right? Or you act like you're helpless or whatever. That basically you're showing weakness, right? But Chris Rock does have a point. If you lose your job, the clock's ticking. The clock's ticking, baby. Hey, morning, Huds. Thanks, man. Yeah. But I mean, man, I lost a job once when I was married, and I don't think my my now ex-wife even thought about leaving me at that point. She definitely thought about leaving me after this, but things were going relatively well at that point in our relationship. But yeah, I lost my job once, and that was on a Friday, and I hit the ground running. Like I spent that Saturday and Sunday. I knew I couldn't go and out and do interviews or anything, but I knew like I did what I could do. Right. So I updated my resume. I started looking at jobs on like Monster and Dice and, like all the job sites and stuff. And I started applying for like every fucking job out there. And so that next Monday, I did the same thing, or that whole next week, I was just applying for jobs and doing phone interviews that whole first week. The second week, I had a whole bunch of in-person interviews lined up. And then I had a job within 2 weeks. And so, when I got let go, they paid me out like my PTO and, whatever. And so I had basically an extra paycheck there where we were fine during that cushion. And then I had another job right away. Right. And it's because I hit the ground running. She never worried about it, And so if you're that kind of guy who, when something bad happens like that, you just hit the ground running and you're like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do to fix it. Like women are less likely to just up and leave you. It's the guys that are like, woe is me. And then they lay on the couch for 3 weeks and don't do shit. And they start collecting unemployment. And then they just play video games all day and don't do shit. Like women don't want to be around a guy like that. Like put yourself in her shoes. Why would you want to be around a lazy piece of shit like that? Right. This is a good one too. Fix stuff around the house or call contractors to get it done. Don't wait until you're nagged into doing it. That's something that I learned from Alpha K's Married Man Sex Life Primer. Basically, you see shit that around the house that needs to be done, like you just fucking take care of it. Don't wait for your wife to tell you, hey, this needs to be done, X needs to be done, that needs to be done. Like just it needs to be done, so fucking knock it out. Just do it. Right? That's setting the tone and taking the lead, not just in your marriage, but in your life, your own domicile. Health, get it fixed, right? Health, get it fixed. Snoring, investigate solutions, right? If you've got a snoring problem and your wife's bitching about snoring, maybe go see a doctor. Maybe you need a CPAP machine or something like that. I'll tell you what, though, if you need a CPAP machine, I guarantee it's probably you're a little bit overweight and you could probably just lose some weight.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.